Can you imagine going to uni and sharing the hallways and spaces with hundreds of cats? Well, that's exactly what happens at the University of Panama, one of the most important and well known universities in the country. It's estimated that more than 300 cats live on its main campus, right in the heart of Panama City. This is James, and today I'm going to show you Panama's Cat University. All right, mi gente, good afternoon from the University of Panama. We are currently on the main campus in the heart of Panama City, and I am going to be showing you the cats. So here's one of the cats. We are currently in the College of Medicine. This is how it looks like. This is the College of Medicine. And so I am here prepared. So I came not only to show you the cats, but to also do some social labor. I am going to be washing all of the water containers, or as many as I can get. So there are these water containers that are all around campus for the cats. I'm going to be helping out with that while I film them, okay? Gatico lindo. Gatico lindo, ¿qué más? ¿Cómo vas, gatico lindo? I haven't seen this cat. I think it's no. Gatico. That's a cat that wants to be pet. That's a cat that feels comfortable around humans. So you can usually just kiss at them to signal that you want to get their attention. And you can stretch your hand out like this. And when they come up to you, that's when you know that that's what they want. I think this cat wants food too, but unfortunately I don't have food. I'm just going to give it water. Voy a lavarte la vasija para que tengas agua. I'm going to go wash this now. So this is how you read cat's body language. You can also approach the cat slowly so you don't scare it. And if you extend your hand out and it doesn't come to you, that means it doesn't want to be pet right now, right? Other indicators are the tail, right? So a lot of times when cats are relaxed, their tail will be up. In this case, this cat's tail is laid down completely flat, meaning that it's nervous, right? And since its tail's not straight up while it's walking around, it means that it's nervous. It may not want contact right now. So those are a few ways that you can read a cat's body language. Other than that, I think it's common sense. You know, if the cat approaches you, it means that it does want to be with you. It does want to be petted. It does want to interact with you. In this case, since the cat left and went over there, that is an indicator that the cat does not want to have contact. It may not be completely personal, right? It may just be because it got stressed. There were a few people that walked by. So a lot of times those factors can affect whether the cat wants to be pet or whether the cat wants to interact with you or not. A lot of times when cats feel nervous or stressed or worried or sad, they're like a lot of humans that when they're experiencing those type of emotions, they may not want to, be in contact with people. They may go into isolation or they may limit themselves to whom they interact with. So cats are the same. Cats are the exact same. So those are a few ways that you can read their body language. I also try to look at their breath as well, because a lot of times when cats are stressed, they tend to breathe faster, right? Like humans, when we're stressed, our heart rate goes up and we tend to breathe a lot faster. Whereas this cat doesn't look that stressed. It looks like it's breathing at a normal rate, but it's not completely relaxed either, right? That's not relaxed body language, especially when it's positioned like that. I'm going to get a little bit closer, not too close. But when it's positioned like that, it means that it's ready to run away. Another detail, something that I tell everybody, is that especially here, since the cats do have to deal with predators, they are exposed to predators, they are exposed to dogs, they are exposed to zarigüeyas, they are exposed to, other humans that may not have the best intentions with them. We need to make sure that we're being extremely respectful and not scaring them or not making them feel like they're in danger when they're not really in danger. So when you see a cat like this, just leave it alone. Try to give it its space as much as possible. That way, it preserves its energy for when it has to deal with a predator. I'm not saying if it has to deal with a predator, I'm saying when. Because here it's not if, in case, it's when. Because it does happen. So in this case, what we're going to do is just leave the cat alone, try to give it its distance, and we'll continue washing the water containers around here as carefully as possible so that we're not scaring the cat away. Normally, when you come on weekends, you'll see the cats. They'll come out just because there are a lot less humans. There's a lot less foot traffic. Whereas when there is a lot of foot traffic during the week, all the students are going to class and everything, it's going to be a lot rare for the cats to come out like this, right? So this black cat came out to see what was going on. This one wants to be pet. And then when it removes its head, when it goes back, that probably means that it doesn't want to be pet anymore. If it starts walking away, that means that it's probably had enough and it doesn't want to be pet anymore. All right. Cats are very shy animals. They're very introverted animals. They are not social like dogs are, where dogs will go up to anybody and say hi. Cats are not like that. Cats are rather introverted. Cats are rather shy. Cats normally like to be with others that they trust. It can be other cats, they may be humans, but there definitely has to be a connection so that the cats spend time with them. Cats are not just going to spend time with you just because, right? Hola. So this is how you know that a cat wants to be with you, is that they come up to you, and if they rub yourselves all up on you, that's them trying to rub their scent on you and claim you as theirs, right? That's a sign of affection, which I find interesting from this cat since I really didn't do much with it. But that's what it's trying to do now, it's walking away. So that's one of those actions that they may give to express some sort of affection. However, and if you look here, there are one, two, three, four, five, six, and then there are more cats down the stairs. But here there are a lot of cats. Cats are also very curious animals, which is part of the reason why you'll see a lot of cats just looking at me. Part of the reason why cats look around and they want to look at you and they turn their attention to any noise that they hear is because cats want to know what's going on. They're very curious animals. They want to be up in everyone's business, which I kind of find weird that they're very independent. They like to be on their own. They like to be very selective with whom they interact with, but they also want to see what's going on. Cats are also animals that are very sensitive to stimuli. They're very sensitive to noise. They're very sensitive to smells. I believe they're animals that are very sensitive in all ways, including emotions. A lot of people think that cats are emotionless animals. A lot of people think that cats hate everything and despise people. I can guarantee you that's not the case. Cats are just very emotional animals. They're animals that have to take in a lot of sensory information, and a lot of times that can become very overwhelming to them. So it's very important to keep that in mind when interacting with cats, especially when it comes to petting and when it comes to any type of physical interaction. So, how did so many cats get here? Why are there so many cats here on this campus? Well, a lot of the story is unknown, unfortunately, even in the student organizations. I used to volunteer in a student organization, and they didn't really know how all these cats ended up on here. A lot of people say that the cats have always been on this campus. This university has the nickname La Universidad de los Gatos, so the University of the Cats. But what A lot of people do theorize that the cats started appearing during the 90s. A few cats would be introduced, and then over time they started reproducing up until the point that we have 300 cats on this campus. The cats here on campus get operated in Spay, Panama. Here in Panama, you can tell a cat's operated, meaning that it's not able to reproduce if you see that the ear is cut. I took a picture of my cats here so you can see more clearly what they do. So they just cut the tip of the ear off. So if you see a cat with an ear that looks like this, it means that they have been spayed or neutered, at least in Spay, Panama. Additionally, you also have another problem, which is cat abandonment. So, because of the large amount of cats, more and more cats are ending up on campus because people think that they can get away with abandoning their cats instead of putting them up for adoption and that they can survive in these circumstances, which is not true. That's actually considered illegal, and you can face serious charges for abandoning a cat on this campus or anywhere here in Panama. But unfortunately, a lot of people do get away with it. But it's definitely not something recommended, especially if you do not want to get into issues with the law. Maybe in a future video, I could share more, or I could maybe do an interview with them. But currently, I'm just sharing the information that I know. I'm gonna show you one of these random things that you find on this campus, which is this train wagon. It's literally a train wagon that was converted into an internet cafe. That's what it says right here. I want to show you all the services that they provide here. So here you can make copies, print, buy office materials, theses. You can buy snacks here. You can scan documents. You can print photos. You can make your resume. Well, there's a lot of different services that they provide here in what they call the Internet Cafe El Tren, which El Tren means the train. It's literally a train wagon. There's another cat right there. I think that cat was hiding under the train wagon. Beautiful. And another very convenient part, and I remember when they put this in, they actually constructed a wash station right here. So it's very convenient because they were keeping the people that wash the water containers in mind. So all you do is come over here, and there are three faucets, not just one, not two, but three. Look at this. Beautiful. So there's one that is for you just to get water, or if maybe someone comes in and needs to do a job and needs to hook up a hose, they can do so right here. Those of you who are probably thinking about selling water on campus, that business does not go anywhere because in all of these water stations, students do come to fill up their water bottles. So here there is easy access to water. There is no need to buy water bottles or anything of that nature. No one does that here. And this is to wash your hands and also to wash dishes, including these dishes for the cats. So I find that very, very convenient. And then there's a third one, which I'm not sure why there's a third faucet there, but I guess it's better to have more than one faucet. I'm not entirely sure why that's there. Be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and get these washed. Hola. Here at the University of Panama, people have access to low cost foods. So you'll see a lot of these kiosks around campus. This one's currently closed because it's Sunday, but they sell hamburgers for $2.50. And students can get lunch for 50 cents. So they try to make it so that there are the least amount of financial barriers for students as possible. I feel like that's an amazing initiative. And so there's a bunch of cats over here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 running over here. There are a lot of cats in this area. This is a college of nursing. And there are more back over there. So since there are a lot of vehicles on this campus as well, I think it's a good time to start talking about the risks. So the first risk is that you see one of those cats. I'm gonna start moving, but one of those cats started to hide under a car. So that is a sign that this is not a safe environment for cats. So a lot of cats do get killed, unfortunately, because they use the cars as hiding spots. Cats also confuse other areas, such as air conditioning machines, as hiding spots, which has caused a lot of cats to die, unfortunately. I've heard of a lot of cases of cats dying in air machines or dying under cars or dying in other areas of the university. The main campus of the University of Panama is not designed to host this many cats, not at all. Additionally, since I said that cats tend to be a little bit more independent, they tend to be a little bit more introverted. It's not ideal for them to be around so many people. Like every university, the University of Panama, especially the main campus, does get a lot of foot traffic. We're talking about one of the best universities, if not the best university of the country. So there is a lot of foot traffic over here. And we're not taking into account the amount of people that come here to do administrative tasks, since this university also takes care of other details such as degree recognition. If you come from another country and you want to get your degree recognized here in Panama, you would come to this university to get that procedure done. There is a bank on campus, and there are a lot of reasons for people to come in and out of campus, making there be a lot more foot traffic than just the students that come every day to take their classes. And of course, we see large group of cats together like over here. So when we start feeding the cats, and I remember when I used to feed the cats, we would have a lot of issues over here. The cats would start fighting with each other over resources because they believe that they are limited. And that can also become a huge safety concern. They can easily transmit diseases and infections, one of those being feline AIDS. It is way too easy for the cats to get sick given the way that food is administered here. The food is administered on the floor. So that's not okay, because it would sort of be like you eating your meals off the floor. No one would do that. And especially on this campus where you have thousands of people walking all across campus with dirty shoes that we don't know where they've been, right? So administering the food that way is very dangerous. It can lead to parasites, diseases, infections very quickly. Since this is an open campus, there are also predators that come on here. I've seen stray dogs on this campus before. There are a lot of different other animals that can pose a threat to these cats, which adds to the danger. And the saddest part of the cats living on campus is that you have a lot of malintentioned people that just get fed up with the cats and decide to take measures into their own hands and find ways to kill them, including drinking the water and drinking the food. Those cats love each other. They were all up on each other. And when I came by, they stopped. So sad. Just checking the waters here. I think these waters are okay. I'm just gonna change them. So they're starting to get a little dirty. No, I think it's a good idea to wash them as well. I'm not just gonna change them. I'm not gonna be lazy. So what can we do to help these cats out? Well, you're going to be able to make a little bit more of an impact if you study here because you're here every day. But remember, this is an open campus, so anyone in the community can participate. There are a few ways that we can help out. The first way is by donating any supplies that the cats may need. So, supplies such as water containers, food dishes. A lot of these student organizations also do receive monetary donations and food donations. So, you can stop by and give them cat food, and that will definitely help them out. Just so you know what cats can eat cat pellets or cat feed. They can eat pate. They can also eat meats such as chicken, lamb, and fish. However, I don't recommend donating chicken, lamb, or fish since the university doesn't have refrigerators to keep them fresh. So it's better to buy just cat feed and pate since those can be kept fresh without refrigeration or any additional materials, right? Another way that you could help out is by doing exactly what I'm doing. So just washing, you just come on campus, wash the water containers, and that's it. Choose an area, wash that area, and spread the word so that other people can also help out as well, since the water does need to be changed a lot as well. All you need is just regular dish soap and a sponge. That's all you need. Obviously, you're not going to use, if you want to come and help out, obviously, you're not going to use the same dish soap and sponge as you use for your dishes because these are outside. So these water containers are exposed to everything: leaves, molds, dirt, grass. And one last detail while I'm washing this is that you can also adopt a cat. A lot of these cats are up for adoption. The date that I'm doing this, they're actually doing an adoption event in Albrook. So you can see if they're doing maybe an adoption event somewhere, or just simply come on campus, ask around, and see if any of these cats are up for adoption and get everything started. That will help. If more people adopted cats from the University of Panama, it would help reduce the cat population and start helping them out by giving them a more decent home, right? That's another way that you can help the cats out. If you live here in Panama and you're wanting to take care of a cat, I'm gonna be going down this hill while I talk to the camera just because I have a little bit of privacy over here. Maybe there's better lighting. I hope there's better lighting. I hope everybody can see me. I really wanted to do a video like this because I want to show people very interesting things about the country that took me in. I'm an immigrant. I was living in Colombia before moving here to Panama. And there are a lot of things that I appreciate about this country. Look at this cat. Look at the beautiful cat. I think that cat was down there and I decided to come up the hill. So, but I really feel happy. This is one of those activities that makes my soul happy. And I feel like it's really important, just a moment of reflection. You know, we're so busy. We got a lot going on, especially here in Panama. Panama is a very busy country, especially if you live in the city or in the surrounding areas. It is very busy. It is not a place where you come to just relax. Well, there are a lot of people that probably are retired and they get to relax, but it's because they're retired. But if you're not retired like me and you have to work, it's definitely not paradise in that sense, but it is a place where I feel like you get to grow, and it's a place where you get to see very interesting things. So I love being able to participate in ways like this because it allows me to feel more a part of the community, right? And be able to give back. I feel like as an immigrant, it's very important to give back, and especially since a lot of these cats need this type of assistance, they need to be fed, they need to be given water, and they need to be given a decent life. So I love being able to come over here and help out in that sense. And the best part, like I said, is that the campus is open to the public. Anybody's allowed to come in. You do not have to present any type of ID unless you come on weekends, but that's because the campus is closed. But when the campus is open, you're allowed to come in. You're allowed to stay as long as you want to, as long as you're not doing anything weird or anything of that nature. You're allowed to come in and do whatever you want. I was actually filming. It's also pretty safe around these hours. a lot of people do get stressed out about the security, but I feel like Panama is a very secure country. It's obviously not the most secure country in the world. There is crime. You do have to be careful. There have been times where I was like, I don't know if they're gonna do something, right? I don't know if they're gonna rob me. I don't know if I'm, gonna be a victim of some type of crime. So you definitely do have to be careful, but it's not like other countries. Like for example, I used to live in Colombia, and in Colombia, you definitely have to, have 8 eyes all around you, 2 eyes here, 2 eyes here, 2 eyes in the back of your head, and you have to be on sort of on edge and kind of have that nervous energy. I don't want to say like super nervous, like scared, but you have to have some type of grit, right? You can't just go over there just like willy nilly, just doing whatever you want. You have to have grit. Whereas here in Panama, you do have to have grit, but not as much, and you're allowed to be a little bit more relaxed. A lot of students come here, they have their earbuds in, they have their phone out. I was recording this entire time. Nothing happened to me. I'm recording here and everything's normal. So I love the fact that you have that liberty to do these type of activities, and especially since I wanted to do this to sort of raise awareness around what's going on with these cats. This is something that a lot of people don't know, and there's not a lot of information about Panama in English. So this was one of those videos that I really wanted to do in English to show, the world's one of these interesting aspects about Panama. All right, mi gente, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. And please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I will see all of you soon. Bye.